There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. With the surfeit of prey, whose presence in large numbers is dictated by the seasons, hunters are spoiled for choice. It takes very little to spook a herd, ever on high alert. An unseen rustle in the grass detonates a small explosion of fleeing bodies. On the move, the great... Another is the number of the hunters. There is no advantage for this coalition of cheetahs, with all four approaching from the same angle. Cheetahs, the fastest land mammal, can only maintain high speeds for a short time for fear of overheating. The stockier lioness ventures onto a salt plain in search of the resident impala. Alone, she's compromised as a hunter. If her prey is fit, it's also too fast to catch. She needs a hunting partner. The cheetah coalition is inexperienced and still practicing solitary hunting. The young and the vulnerable are targeted first. A solitary cheetah's success at hunting largely depends on how close it can get to the prey before starting its chase. When you've mistimed your run, the last thing you need is an audience. With a fearsome reputation, the Cape buffalo is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. With its considerable bulk, strength, and lethal horns, it doesn't neatly fit into the category of prey. But prey it is, to only one predator here in the Serengeti ecosystem. And to make a success of a buffalo hunt, teamwork is essential. Inexperienced and uncoordinated young lions stand little chance of penetrating that wall of muscle to target the young. Injury in almost all cases in the Rift Valley ends in a swift death. Cats have always shown curiosity, even nervousness, when faced with something rarely encountered. An injured vulture. Amongst the wildebeest herds is a much maligned predator whose hunting technique doesn't include the neatness of a suffocation. Spotted hyenas eat their larger prey alive. It's still believed that hyenas are primarily scavengers. But lions scavenge from hyena kills more than the other way around. Because of their shared territories and prey, they're in direct competition with each other. But no hyena would take on a Cape buffalo. That's a singular job for the experts. Breaking from the relative safety of the herd, aggression is the buffalo's primary tactic. But given the tiniest opportunity, the lioness seeks a spinal bite hold. Normal lion hunts are primarily female assignments, with the male taking over after the event. But in some instances, the males pull their considerable weight. The herds oust the reinforcements. Lions will suffocate their prey, more a safety measure than a courtesy. Once dead, those horns can do no damage. big kill like this can fill pride bellies for many days. Also hungry, with an eye on a Grant's gazelle and her offspring, is a black-backed jackal. To get to the youngster, the jackal has to get past its mother. Both find themselves in a circular standoff. It seems as if neither one will back down. But the fawn is oblivious to the threat. The jackal eventually backs off. In some areas, lions have made hunting large prey a rule rather than an exception. Adult giraffes can be taken on by an experienced team, but why go large when small is such an easier catch? Giraffe young have a high mortality rate. Between 50 to 75% of calves don't make it to adulthood. An adult giraffe's main defensive weapons are its legs. One well-armed kick can kill a lion. But as with most prey animals, the first instinct is to run. The young giraffe cannot keep up with its longer-legged parent, so they've adopted a survival strategy. The parent leads the young calf away. Once far enough from the threat, the two split up and the calf hides. Unfortunately, not well enough. The mother too far away can do nothing. Dragged into shade, the bounty is shared by the lioness and her own offspring. Years of maternal care snuffed out in an instant. Giant concentrations of flamingos enjoy the benefits of mineral-rich hot springs. A pair of golden jackals preys on the outskirts of the flocks, hoping to snag an unwary wanderer. Jackals are opportunistic hunters, canny and persistent. But this is not the terrain for an ambush. half concealed, the jackal now waits for a passerby. Telltale splashes of webbed feet incite action. Near an acacia forest, the migratory herds have settled, but the presence of predators still keeps them on their hooves. During a 3-week period, the wanderers of the plains pause long enough to give birth to the next generation. It's believed that the veritable glut of calves means that no predator could dent the population, giving the surviving majority a chance to grow up. Hunting at this time of the year is not the honed skill it usually is. The herds swell by up to 500,000 calves. Lions and hyenas take what they can, but the wildebeest endure by weight of numbers. Thompson gazelle forms also arrive at this time. But despite its herd baiting, the cheetah has designs on the adult Thompson male. Cheetahs hunt in areas where lions and hyenas are inactive. Its phenomenal speed is breathtaking. Its technique includes tripping the fleeing gazelle with a strong dew claw, and then, like the lion, suffocating it. After a chase, the cheetah has to recover for many minutes before feeding. The wildebeest start their new march, a massive migratory movement that continues its endless journey, passed on from one generation to the next. Sometimes distracted with infighting amongst themselves, they may fail to notice a bigger problem coming their way. The lioness is alone, but her timing is first class, the water giving her a slight advantage. Hunting cat style is a three-step process. There's the stalk, to get as close to the prey as possible without being seen. The young are taken because they are simply not physically capable of avoiding predators. But the injured are even more vulnerable. A prone animal with a petty wound that may heal in time never has that time. Injury can easily be caused by challenges from your own herd. Male Tommies clash over territory and mating rights. But a sustained injury can act like a clarion call to a sensitive predator. With this kind of injury and this kind of predator, only one thing can save the prey. Easier prey. An injured adult will give the jackals a long and hard fight. An undefended youngster won't last a short chase. The fawn's mother puts up a token defense, but her fawn is outmatched. What started with the stalking of an injured adult ends in a smaller meal. But for the jackal pair, success is relative. Small is still a meal. The last thing a new Thompson gazelle mother wants is interest from a male. Without its mother, a calf's instinct is to settle in the grass. It has no scent to give it away, but jackals are cunning and resourceful. The female will soon deliver cubs, so getting food is even more important than it normally is. The behavior of the mother is a giveaway. There is a fawn close by. The mother's consternation means she's ready to fight for her calf. She joins the fray. The mother's defense is spirited and vigorous. But being outnumbered, the outcome was never in doubt. The prey is neatly divided, insurance against theft from other predators. Hyenas can smell a kill from a great distance. Those in the neighborhood arrive in no time. Half is better than none. After feeding, the rest of the kill is buried for when food is scarce. Her partner's job is to keep the competition away from the cache. Job done. On the Great Wildebeest March, during the mass birthing period, newborn wildebeest calves are at their most abundant and their most vulnerable. The desire for the warm touch and care of a mother and the need to suckle are all in place. But the calf is unaware that its life is at the whim of one of nature's most impressive predators. Its luck has surely run its course. But suddenly, for a moment, the calf is bewildered. For its mother, hope is still in play. Finding its feet, a primal thought prompts its only survival tactic: run. A lost meal and a rare reunion. The herds march on, beset by dangers as diverse as the landscape and weather, and as cunning as those predators that depend on their number for their own survival. With extra mouths to feed, they observe how their parents fare against prey that has evolved to evade capture at all costs. The relationship between prey and predator is a fine balancing act in the beautiful Serengeti. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. In the Serengeti, the first imperative is survival, self-defense. Defending your offspring from predators is a powerful instinct. Hard-earned kills attract poachers. Food must be defended. As must territory and mating rights. In most cases in the wild, self-defense can be summed up in one small word: run. Impala, like most gazelles, have many ways of running, each with its own subtle communication. This specific movement, called stotting, has been interpreted in many ways. It's believed the animal is advertising to predators how fit and uncatchable it is, from a safe distance, of course. Young golden jackal's vigorous play comes to a halt after a warning cry from a neighboring plover. A puff adder is a danger to both bird and dog. It's often said that the best form of defense is attack. The adder is woefully outnumbered. In such encounters, it's the numbers that matter. During a failed lion hunt, an impala herd scatters. Defending yourself sometimes comes at a fatal cost. One wrong step, one unlucky landing, and a broken ankle is a death sentence. Predators target the young, the old, and the injured. But vulnerable young come with a determined parent, willing to risk her life in defense of her offspring. Jackals are just as resolute. Thompson gazelle herd members try to deter the predator. But it's down to the fawn's mother to engage the enemy. A great risk to herself. She is dogged in the defense of her fawn. One last chance for the jackal, and a lucky fawn reunites with its mother. In the many rivers and waterways of the Rift Valley lives an animal whose maternal care was once misinterpreted by early naturalists. The majestic Nile crocodile takes great care in defending its offspring. It releases its young from the egg, gently crushing the shell. In what was believed to be an act of cannibalism, the Nile crocodile takes the tiny hatchlings in her massive mouth. But this is merely her way of ferrying her vulnerable young to water. It's the high-pitched cries of her underground brood that trigger this giant mother's behavior. Her hatchlings are helpless and prone to attack from the ground and from the air. But when they're defended by an enormous reptile, predators remain in the shadows. Other Nile crocodiles do prey on the young, but it's up to their mother to defend them once in the water. A fish eagle is fond of baby croc. Once the armored shuttle service reaches its destination, its passengers are released. At first, the hatchlings will stay in the water and on the banks near their mother's custom-dug crocodile cave. The mother will be mindful of her clutch for up to 2 years, after which the young must defend themselves. The mortality rate of young crocodiles is very high. It's estimated that only 1% survive to adulthood. They feed independently on insects, as their mother provides protection but not food. In rounding up stragglers, the brood can be left unguarded. No water-bound reptile stands much of a chance deterring a master of flight, but this doesn't stop them trying. The fish eagle's persistence is rewarded. A cheetah mother searching for prey. The stunning beauty of the Serengeti sundown is a short respite to the drama of the daylight. A croc mother is in the process of transporting her hatchlings to water. Just minutes old, these infant reptiles are totally dependent on their mother's help. She has defended the nest for 3 months. As far as infant predation is concerned, now is the most dangerous time. With a precious mouthful, she starts the many short return trips to water, leaving the nest vulnerable. Once released, the hatchlings must stay well clear of other adults. Older cannibalistic crocs see them as easy prey. Defending an open nest against fish eagles is impossible for Nile crocodiles when they're ferrying their young to water. The assault from the land is in the form of the monitor lizard. The calls of the hatchlings invite both friend and foe to the nest. If she's in time, the mother will defend her young with great force. The monitor has to be patient. There's consternation at a plover's nest. A puff adder will eat any ground nesting bird in its path. While the male plover spreads its wings to appear more threatening, distracting the snake, the chicks run back for cover. The plovers have gathered a few more friends round to make the point. The snake is not welcome here. The assault on the croc nest starts anew. Fish eagles and monitor lizards carefully time their approach. A mother croc will leave an open nest only if necessary. An overheating crocodile needs the cooling effect of the water. The nest still yields a few eggs, gratefully swallowed. The reptilian raider uses branches to crack the shells before consuming their contents. Sometimes it's easier to steal a fish than fish for one. But then you have to defend it from your own kind. A younger fish eagle thinks nothing of attacking a marabou stork, one that defends its legitimate catch. In the wild, there are many things to defend. Your own life is a priority. Then there's the defense of the next generation. And defending a well-earned kill in the beautiful Serengeti. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. In the wild, animals protect what's most important to them. The monitor lizard is partial to all kinds of eggs. Thickneys protect their nest from any hungry intruder. That's one reptile moved on. Another not so easy to intimidate, even with a withering stare. Innocent vervet monkeys get the same treatment as the monitor. A Nile crocodile releases her babies. Her presence protects the young, which are vulnerable to cannibalism. Best to stay with mum as long as possible. Opportunistic Nile crocs think nothing of predating their neighbor's clutch. That is until the neighbor has something to say about that. An intruder will risk a mighty blow for the smallest mouthful. And then take out his frustration on the nearest cold body. Thompson gazelle's defensive strategy relies on speed and confusion. A vulnerable fawn flees from an aggressive golden jackal. The mother offers herself as a target. Intervention by the parent is designed to disorient and slow the predator down, so her fawn can disappear into the long grasses. The jackal is far enough away for the fawn to be safe. The protective parent strategy is not workable if the victim wanders too far into the lion's den. There may be trouble ahead, but the reaction is late and in the wrong direction. No strategy helps if you move too close to the predator. But it's now the lioness that needs to defend her catch from two unknown males. A rustle in the dry grass gives him away. She is submissive, but not about to leave her kill. Against two, she stands no chance. And at the first opportunity, she bolts. Specialists in the defense of their own kills are leopards. The big cat's first order of business is to drag the carcass to a known tree and devour it without interruption. Once stripped, the carcass is ejected from the tree, or left hanging on lower branches. In a Nile crocodile Mexican standoff, a mother lays between her offspring and a predatory male. Gravity delivers the first victim. There are many more, inches away from being devoured. The bank is steep. Each step invites a misstep. The hatchling is surely doomed. Its incredible luck is holding. The huge cannibal croc has a mouthful of mud for his efforts. But patience is a Nile crocodile's speciality. Another close call. But this time, Mum draws the defensive line. An agitated plover tells the jackal there is something worth defending nearby. A chick in the grass and a close encounter. Reinforcements encourage the predator to leave. At home with her brood, the Nile croc mother stands guard. The fish eagle waits for her to reach the water. Even submerged, she is vigilant, sends a strong signal. Defending your young from predators is a parental duty. Defending them from nosy neighbors is also an obligation. The hippo means no harm, but a giant can still squash a 2-week-old crocodile. Their mother encourages the visitor to back off. And if the message wasn't clear enough, golden jackals expecting their own offspring are no amateurs when it comes to defending their territory. While the male prepares a large burrow, the female attempts to get comfortable. Once the burrow is ready, the female will settle in to give birth. But what neither want in their territory at this vulnerable time is an animal with the fiercest reputation, the honey badger. Even lions will give this creature a wide berth. The honey badger represents a significant threat to an imminent litter, so the jackals escort it to the boundary of their territory. Having a place to call home is important to crocodiles. When the dry season grips the land and water is hard to come by, crocodiles must still find a way to cool off. Shelter is their only defense. These self-constructed croc caves are often inhabited by many individuals. When food is scarce and the reptiles find it hard to regulate their temperature, crocs can remain in a long dormant state known as aestivation until conditions improve. Just as attentive to her offspring is the baboon. These monkeys live in volatile social groups, and females keep tiny babies close. When food is scarce, the baboon troop feed on fallen sausage tree flowers. With their dexterous fingers, the monkeys can also pick up seeds and insects. Young mothers-to-be often practice with infants, as long as their mothers grant them permission. Baboons range over great distances, as do those that follow the great herds. In the Serengeti, there are many examples of the darker side of blood kinship. Two young bachelor males take time to cement their strong bond. Head rubbing relates to scent sharing, an aspect that unites the two. But what really unites them is that two is twice as intimidating as one. They need each other. They also need their own pride. This lioness is part of a resident pride with two young cubs. The pride's lone male is not powerful enough to protect his extended family. A lioness with new cubs has most to fear and most to lose from a takeover. One bachelor breaks off towards the rocky outcrop known as a kopje. The lioness must hide her cubs. 2 against 1. The ruling king knows he's beaten. Without a pride, his future is bleak. The bulk of the resident pride also makes a getaway. On the kopje now, the second bachelor moves closer to the cubs. A killer in the kindergarten. With her maternal instinct fired up, the lioness does what she's compelled to do: defend her young at any cost. But for all her efforts, this fight is merely a diversion. Male lions have no adoption strategy, and to ensure the future of their own bloodline, they will kill without pity. The first bachelor leads the mother farther away. Her cubs are gone. There is no more she can do. These events have to occur for the invading males to guarantee their own future. A future bound with this new pride whose stability the intruders have fleetingly damaged. Far from the violence of lion takeovers, the idea of family usually confers bonds between individuals, bonds that are altruistic. In any other circumstance, an injured cheetah is a dead cheetah walking. But a coalition of brothers doesn't give up on its damaged sibling. The injured brother is encouraged to feed. This unselfish behavior won't be found in every family. In lion society, it's every cat for itself. Any returning subadult ex-pride member will not be welcome. Family bonds can extend past life itself. An orphaned hippo stays close to its mother, now a rotting magnet for crocodiles. They start their free meal slowly and where access is easier. Hippos display a curious behavior towards their dead, one very much unknown to science. This intimate attention suggests an intake of minerals. The bereaved calf will stay close to its dead mother until forced to leave by advancing crocs. And reptile numbers are swelling. But still the calf stands its ground, even after being investigated by a reptilian nose. Once the morbid part is in full swing, it's time to leave. The carcass will be completely devoured. On the Great Plains, other young ones are far from the midst of death. Play is an important and enjoyable aspect of family life, even for the adults. As part of play, a youngster's world opens up to them. A dung beetle is too much of a temptation. Play is important for young mammals. It strengthens limbs and hones coordination. Attributes vital to the success of a future hunter. With older cubs, playtime is now significantly more boisterous. Mock fights break out between siblings. Sparring with your peers is one way animals form a hierarchy. Males begin more serious clashes with locked horns. These competitions can be fatal, but generally they're a display of dominance. When a combatant sustains an injury on the open plains, it's not easily hidden. A Tommy has strained its front leg, an obvious weakness to be exploited by ever-watchful predators. Young male impala test their strength. Competitive behavior becomes more serious the longer the horns grow. Mating rights fuel the intense competitive nature of giraffes. Their ungainly fighting style belies the damage they can inflict on each other if their head blows fully connect. A female Nile crocodile keeps a close eye on competing males. Potential suitors have the same goals: to deter rival males. The winner will go on to successfully mate with the waiting female. It takes very little to rouse their neighbors to action. Hippo aggression is so ingrained that once the instigator has chased his original opponent away, he simply carries on intimidating the onlooker. This big bull has been in many fights. But the new opponent is not backing down. Dominance is often hard won. Despite the threatening bluster, there's been no physical contact. The instigating bull backs off, oxpecker seeing to past wounds. The new opponent makes himself scarce. Escaping without significant injury isn't always the result. This unfortunate croc's entire lower jaw has been rendered useless in a fight. Hippo injuries are common too. Tusks can rip through skin like knives. Despite this croc's injuries, it has managed to survive here, mostly on fish and scraps. This is the horrific result of being on the losing side to a territorial hippo. This lioness will never eat again. She can't even take a drink. Her hunting days are over. The impalas are restless. In their competition for females, the older males prepare. The dominant impalas round up the females and keep them in one place. Or at least they try to. It appears as if the females are making a sport of running the males round and round in circles. Sometimes the male is so busy playing the mating game, a more sneaky rival will poach one of the dominant bull's females from right under his nose. As far as this male is concerned, that is a successful roundup. In the waterways of the Rift Valley, the females are already in one place. Male hippos compete for dominance. The lead bull must defend his status at the top, and that includes confronting any bachelor who dares challenge his authority. The bulls test each other's strength, battling jaw to jaw. The fight is brief but decisive. The resident male continues to reign supreme and proves his claim to exclusive mating rights. Males can fight to the death. There's so much at stake and too much to lose. On the plains, 5 young cheetahs trespass on the territory of a single male. There will be many more hunts and many more competitors in endless competition in the beautiful Serengeti. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. When it comes to food, why not let your rivals do all the hard work? Lions are opportunists and prefer to minimize risk. They are much more powerful than the more slender cheetahs. Even at 3 against 1, it's no contest. Superior strength also wins out within the pride, but this lioness is tenacious. Not hungry enough to take the kill, the lion breaks off his chase. Even when food is freely available to all, the urge to compete is too strong in some. The fish eagle will let others do the work. And then claim ownership. There's no real resistance from the larger bird. Fish eagles are even prepared to raid from each other, though in this case, not too successfully. Thanks to a powerful digestive system, spotted hyenas devour everything. But there's still a hierarchy to be observed. A hyena can eat about a third of its weight in one sitting, far more than most mammals. But competition with clan members can result in some surprising behavior. Hyenas, like dogs, will bury their bounty for future dining. Hiding food in plain sight of rivals defeats the object of the exercise, especially if the competition can free dive. Living in clans up to 90 strong, hyenas are the Serengeti's most plentiful carnivore. The females demonstrate a very high maternal investment in their offspring. At a few months old, the cubs start to roam from their den. But not too far. There are threats from inside the family as well as out. Right from birth, some siblings fight, driven by a savage instinct to remove competition. More dominant cubs can stop younger ones from feeding if food is short. The weaker ones starve to death. Hyena hierarchies are sometimes settled aggressively, but there's no doubt that the females are dominant. When food is scarce, lions target unusual prey. Baboons rarely feature on their hit list. They're vulnerable while foraging on or near the ground. Adult males armed with big teeth defend their troops. They can mob and injure big cats, but an empty belly prompts bold action. Her only chance of a meal is a lone monkey caught off guard. Quietly does it. A single baboon may sustain one lioness, but only if she keeps it for herself. Her pride is just as hungry. After scant mouthfuls, the lioness and her prize are mobbed. This is competition, lion style. After violence and dismemberment, peace returns to the plains. A marabou stork drops onto a golden jackal kill, but the vultures are already making way for another. Hyenas, like jackals, are primarily skillful hunters, but scavenging is easier and less risky. And what does a devoted male do with his scant, rushed mouthfuls? Share them with his mate. Sharing is the last thing on these cats' minds. A prone lioness is unaware of the two intruders in her pride's territory. She has a kill and doesn't want competition. Submission may delay a male's takeover, but once the second arrives, so does the violence. No meal is worth dying for. A hippo carcass, soon to be the dead center of a competition. The hippos seem unperturbed by the presence of predators in their midst. This hippo seems intrigued by the dead of its own. It's believed that, like elephants, hippos mourn their family losses. The smell of rotting flesh attracts impressive reptilian scavengers. While the crocodiles are cautious of lions on land, the cats won't take on a crocodile in water. For a meal this substantial, a large lion cub is prepared to get its feet wet. An adult hippo has had enough of the lion's encroachment. Threat yawns are designed to scare them off. But it's their bulk that's physically intimidating. A cheeky retaliatory strike is enough of a diversion to let the marabou stork join the party. Competition over a carcass has its own hierarchy to observe. Despite the residents' objections, the members of the pride claim their shares. On the endless plains of the Serengeti, the clock is ticking for a cheetah and its cubs. Once the kill is made, the spotted family have to eat quickly. The number of competitors usually determines how fast the rightful owners are ousted. There's no such thing as fairness at a kill. Putting up a fight is like splashing in the shallows. There's no turning the tide. The cheetahs have no choice but to concede their hard-won kill. The mob invasion is a signature vulture tactic. But an individual vulture is still competitive. Faced with such an assault, the jackal goes on the offensive. The tenacity of the vulture is rewarded. Unlike the wandering herds of the Serengeti, birds of prey have a place of their own. Here it's cool, there's plenty of water, and the view's spectacular. It's ideal for bringing up the next generation. True competitors, vultures are rarely seen in a positive light. In a hot climate, diseases thrive. Vultures strip carcasses so efficiently, many diseases are stopped in their tracks. So, despite their feeding habits, they sanitize the Rift Valley. As hippos squabble over space, another epic competition is about to get ugly. Africa's biggest reptile is facing up to Africa's best-known big cat. The lions are feasting on a dead hippo, and sharing is not in either predator's nature. Nile crocodiles are famous for their extraordinary patience. It's a relatively small kill. The lions use threat as a first response to their competitors. Stealth may gain a mouthful for the crocodile, but both apex predators instinctively know the risky cost of an all-out fight. The lions try and dissuade the encroaching crocs with claw swipes and attitude. But armor-plated Nile crocodiles stand their ground. As one of the lionesses breaks off, the crocodiles maintain their patience. But the spoils are dwindling. Boldness may be rewarded. Subtly, the dynamic of power starts to shift in the advancing croc's favor. But the possessors of the carcass are still feeding, and powerful enough to defend it. Yet the crocs will have their moment. Crocodiles have outlived dinosaurs. And this 84-million-year-old reptile remains unimpressed by the power of Africa's biggest cat. Here, rivals compete for food. They fight for dominance and mating rights. Each confrontation adds great drama to the lives of those in the beautiful Serengeti. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. At the end of a long dry season on the Serengeti plains, skies darken dramatically. There are only two seasons here: dry and wet. Rain brings new beginnings and governs the cycles of life. For some, it's the return of their precious environment. For others, it's simply something to endure as the landscape changes around them. At the end of this rainbow, there is treasure of a sort. Rain-drenched dry earth is soon carpeted with green new growth. Tender and sweet, young shoots and leaves are nature's riches. Attracted by food aplenty, grazers travel often from afar to reap the rewards of such a bounty. Over 1.5 million wildebeest wander the Serengeti plains, coming and going with the seasons. They are joined by hundreds of thousands of zebra. With plenty to eat after the rains, this is the ideal time to give birth. Newborn calves are easy prey, so they must get to their feet and be able to run within minutes of birth. With increasing numbers of mouths to feed, the demand on the grass is relentless. The herds eat their way across the plains, always moving onwards in their endless search for fresh grazing. Wildebeest are the only bovids that synchronize birth. Within 3 weeks, 90% of the calves will be born. As the youngsters find their feet, they lead anxious mothers a merry dance, racing around and honing muscles. With full bellies, even young bulls have the energy to show off and strut their stuff. Carefree cavorting can mean some calves lose sight and scent of their guardians. No mother will feed another's baby. A lost calf has only hours to be reunited, or risk dehydration, or detection by a predator. Belly full and surrounded by potential prey, an adult male lion can't be bothered to give chase. Neither can his adolescent sons. Adult jackals can tackle newborn wildebeest calves. This one, like the lions, is plainly not hungry. Lionesses are the pride providers. Often with cubs and males to feed, they rarely ignore the chance for an easy meal. The calf is fleet of foot and lucky this time. Even the lionesses are too replete to make much effort. A narrow escape perhaps, but without its mother, the calf is doomed. Exhausted, the odds are against the lost calf. But with the arrival of a wildebeest herd, there is a remote ray of hope. Females recognize their offspring by each calf's distinctive smell and voice. Only their own baby is allowed to suckle. Now very hungry, the lost calf is desperate for a drink. Its only reward, rejection. Wildebeest are sometimes called the clowns of the plains for their seemingly erratic antics. Any unusual behavior can cause boisterous juveniles to stampede. Thankfully, calf chasing as entertainment quickly loses its allure, and the lost youngster escapes unscathed. The recent heavy rains offer a chance to slake a now life-threatening thirst. Time is running out, and the odds are against ever finding the right mother among so many. But every now and then, a miracle happens. A lost voice is heard and recognized. The great herds swiftly graze their way across the plains. As the grass runs out and the rains move on, so do the wildebeest on their endless search for fresh food. The wildebeest are compelled to move along in a seasonal cycle, a circular journey that takes a whole year to complete. Resident animals, those that don't migrate, are used to the annual comings and goings of the millions of grazers. To the giants of the grasslands, this sweeping tide of bodies is as much part of their world as the storm clouds that drive the herds. It's hard to imagine so many animals. But the Serengeti is the perfect location to make that task easier. Wildebeest spend about a third of their day eating. They don't pull the grass, they clip it. And clipping stimulates growth. Wandering into a shallow lake has proved disastrous. Flamingos are waders, designed to sift the water for algae. Heavy adult wildebeest sink in the mud, where they can find themselves irrevocably bogged down. The lighter calves manage to stay on top of the lake floor's mud crust. They'd be safer on dry ground, but they can't survive without their mother. The wanderers reach an acacia forest. Residents of the forest take the huge influx in their stride. At least the giraffe can access forage out of reach of those beneath it. Elephants not only have a long trunk, but their size and strength also give them a distinct advantage. After several weeks of good grass, the bulls are in prime condition. They start to flex their muscles and show off their prowess. Each male's aim is to establish a temporary territory and oust other bulls, as well as attract any females in season into their patch. Fights between dominant males are ritualized, and there's generally little actual violence or serious injury. This male lion isn't in hunting mode, but the herds are taking no chances. A lame lion isn't a threat, but with the wilderness migration, the herds face many dangers, but water presents one of their greatest hazards. Wildebeest are good swimmers and can easily cross this river. It's what the muddy water might conceal that's alarming. They must drink to survive, but they sense danger. An unseen enemy has the element of surprise on its side. The arrival of the herds is the crocodile's main chance each year to feast and fatten up. They can't afford to miss too many times. This is a place where inexperience can kill. When the crocodiles do succeed, it's a free-for-all. The cycle of the migration marches forever onwards, despite the trials of a life forever on the move. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. The wildebeest's path on their endless migration is impeded several times by rivers. These waterways are relatively placid, but when the water is low, the banks are treacherously high. There are dangers below as well. Nile crocodiles. The crocodiles know when the migration is coming, and they congregate at the best crossing places. With so many forced by thirst to the water's edge, this is a time of plenty for the crocodiles. They must eat, though, while they can, as the herds only come through once a year. When heavy rain runs down surrounding catchment slopes, rivers can become torrents. Then they present major obstacles to the progress of the herds. The wildebeest have an inherent instinct to trek in a certain direction at any cost, despite the dangers. The crocodiles know that some will be swept away by the current, and then they can scavenge a meal. There's a sense of urgency and unrest among the herds. Crowded in a bottleneck, they're vulnerable to ambush. The lioness causes panic for good reason. Still, they come in their thousands. An instinctive urge drives each individual in the herd to move ever onwards. Despite the obstacles, the cycle of their lives, like the seasons, marches on. A zebra makes a lucky escape, but death enables others to survive. The odds can appear stacked against those on the move, but the vast majority will make it. The wildebeest and zebra have evolved over millennia and adapted to a life of endless migration. These Thompson's gazelles are biding their time, perhaps waiting for the water to reside so they can see where the crocs are lying. The great herds march onwards in their quest to keep ahead of the dry season. There's water and grass for residents like Giraffe for now, but soon the land will become parched and bare, exacerbated by so many trampling hooves. Residents of the forest take the huge influx in their stride. Thomson's gazelles migrate from the southern and eastern Serengeti plains towards the central and western woodlands as the dry season progresses. To reach better grazing, they must cross several rivers. Like the wildebeest, they're fearful of what lurks beneath the surface. A brave leap into the unknown proves too much for a solitary youngster. En masse and with speed, they have more chance of confusing a predator. After the wildebeest, these gazelles are the most numerous antelope in the Serengeti. It's thought there are over 500,000 of them. As the dry season takes hold in the south, the wildebeest desert the plains and move steadily west and northwards. The woodlands in the northern reaches of their range provide food and sanctuary until the rains return. The precise timing of the Serengeti migration is entirely dependent on the weather patterns each year. Neither can be predicted accurately. What is known is that the great herds take advantage of seasonal conditions. Generally, they spend the dry season, about 5 months, in the woodlands and grasslands in the north. Then one day, somehow they sense that unseen storm clouds are gathering far away in the south. Then the vast herds begin their journey southwards, heading once again towards their breeding grounds. Plains left denuded of grass will green when the rains come. Then the cycle begins all over again. but their number is about to swell dramatically. All these babies are destined to lead lives on the move, and that starts right from the moment they're born. The youngsters of all the migratory species must be up, had a drink, and be capable of following their mother within minutes. The Great Migration across the Serengeti is one of the greatest spectacles in the natural world. Seasons change. Wet times turn dry, but the annual trek keeps moving on. With so many continually on the march, the lives of everything along their route are affected. Falling rain in the distance draws hooves old and new on a path that's been trod for millennia. Together, they'll run the dangerous marathon that billions of others have survived. The terrain and predators will take their share, but the trick is to just keep moving on. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. On the continent of Africa, water dominates the rhythm of the landscape. Animal lives are lived to the beat of its cyclical appearance and disappearance. Water plays a huge role in the Rift Valley, no more so when there is so little of it. At the tail end of the dry season, finding water becomes the focus of many creatures' lives. Cape buffalo need to drink daily, so will never stray far from a water source. Dried up riverbeds offer a few morsels to mammals and lizards alike. Vervet monkeys find undigested morsels in elephant dung. But puddles can't sustain a thirsty crowd. But they do reveal underground springs. Those springs feed mudholes that sustain life through the dry season. Crocodiles have evolved a different strategy for avoiding the oppressive heat. They make shelters in the riverbanks, custom-made croc caves where a sun-dried reptile can keep cool. And as valuable resources, they're well defended. The caves are deceptive from the outside and can go back a long way. Crocs will also use the cloying mud as sunscreen. Over 500 hippos may share the same pool. This close proximity and subsequent mud wallow are not choices the hippos make. Hippos are water-based creatures, and water is scarce and tied up in the thick, viscous mud. Nile crocodiles with no homes to go to are also forced into the mud. Hippo mothers keep a close eye on their young. By some strange truce, both hippo and crocodile live as neighbors. In hippopods, conditions often dictate how creatures need to behave to survive. Some take advantage of the neighbors. The unwanted piggybackers are encouraged to step down. Of the two species, it's the hippo that shows more curiosity towards the crocodile. In this environment, respect is based on size. Until the rains arrive, freeing all from this relentless mud bath, it's live and let live. Despite the conditions, catfish have evolved to survive in such an unlikely environment. These hardy creatures have little to fear from hippos. But the marabou is more of a problem. The fish's vulnerability is almost wholly due to their visibility in these shallow, muddy pools. With mud levels this low, any movement is like the ringing of a dinner bell to most avian predators. The hippos now have to endure uncomfortably crowded conditions, but are surprisingly calm. Exhausted by a lack of food and oppressive heat, they must conserve every last ounce of energy if they are to survive until the rains come. Their tough skin is surprisingly prone to sunburn, and the mud, liberally applied, provides ultraviolet protection. But mud is a far riskier environment than water. Cape buffalo find it difficult to move through, and there are real risks of getting trapped. Safe in their shelters, the Nile crocodiles welcome the deluge. The transformation of the landscape is swift and dramatic. With water now abundant, croc caves are not needed, just as well, as they are now submerged. With the water levels high, the rhythm of life here returns to its wet season normality. And that means getting together. Hippos can't float, so a calf uses its mother as support to watch the antics of the courting couple. The hide-and-seek ritual is interspersed with some vigorous mouthwork. The watching baby loses its front row seat, while the prenuptial pair is getting into deep water. Preoccupied, they cross over into the territory of the neighboring dominant bull. And he won't tolerate the trespass. Ritualized dung showering proclaims territorial rights and possession. Sensing the threat, the female retreats. Spreading strong scent is a serious challenge that cannot be ignored. The larger, more powerful bull proves his supremacy and will claim exclusive mating rights. While hippos leave the water to feed at night, crocs come out by day to bask in the sun. The ancestors of crocodiles were around when hippos developed in Africa about 50 million years ago. It's thought that hippos evolved to live in close groups, primarily to protect their young from large reptiles. It's unusual to see interaction between the two animals. Here, a male is probably responding to hippo dung that the crocodile is unintentionally carrying on its body. Despite its size and well-armed jaws, the croc doesn't attack. Adult hippos have been seen biting large crocodiles in half. The reptiles seem to have a tolerant respect for the mighty river horse. Aware of large predators nearby, a female hippo decides it's safer to lead her calf to a secluded tributary. Boisterous adults can inadvertently drown infant hippos. In sheltered waters, the baby will be relatively safe. All hippo mothers with young are fiercely protective. The hippopotamus is one of the most aggressive creatures in the world and is often regarded as one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. For the older bachelor members of the herd, real violence and the threat of violence is the way to get ahead. A confrontation starts with head splashing. Next comes the wide threat yawn. As his rival starts the same ritual, the instigator moves up to territorial scent marking, covering the widest area with his dung. If aggression can flare up quickly, it can fade out just as fast. The muck distribution isn't only an aggressive behavior. At rest, hippos spray routinely. Hippo aggression is so ingrained that once the instigator has chased the original opponent away, he simply carries on intimidating the onlooker. This big bull has been in many fights, but his new opponent is not backing down. Despite the threatening bluster, there's been no physical contact. The bull that started the argument backs off, oxpeckers seeing to past wounds. His opponent makes himself scarce. It was originally thought that the oxpeckers had a symbiotic relationship with their hippo hosts, both species benefiting mutually. These birds are now regarded as parasites. While they do pick off ticks, they also peck blood and tissue from fresh wounds. They are the only known bird to regularly eat earwax. Although it has a nutritional value, it's very hard to digest. It's possible that oxpeckers help to keep wounds clean and reduce infection. But a plague of this many birds only adds insult to a literal injury. Oxpeckers can't swim, so the hippo has a way of discouraging unwanted passengers. But he doesn't seem unduly bothered. While a youngster enjoys the novelty of stretching his legs on land, hippos can't survive long out of water by day. The sun's ferocity is too great to be withstood without the water's protection. Young hippos spar from an early age. Through play fighting, they discover how they rank and compare with others in their pod. In this way, they avoid serious fights until they mature. For these young males, a time will come when they reach their prime and must eventually fight for a pod of their own. The stench of rotting flesh attracts competing crocs. They also have competition on land. There's not much left of the carcass now, and the crocs are left to argue over skin and bone. Another argument is about to get deadly serious. Barely 1 in 10 of hippo males hold their territory and breed. The stakes are high and worth fighting for, sometimes to the death. Dominant bulls can reign supreme for up to 20 years, but eventually every successful male will be forced out by another in his prime. Hippos can live for up to 50 years in the wild, but a violent lifestyle can lead to an early death. Crocodiles and hippos. Uneasy neighbors. Both competing for prime position in their shared water world. There are few better places to experience nature's splendor than the Serengeti. Here, well-known creatures raise families next to others less celebrated. Competition can be fierce for territory, food, and rights to mate. Never-ending journeys are endured, beset with challenging obstacles. Water worlds boast stunning beauty and high drama. Here is nature in all her diversity, vigorous and unbound. In the vast continent of Africa, on its eastern shores, lies the country of Tanzania, a place where nature stakes her generous claim. Its epic wilderness areas are home to an astonishing cast of creatures based in the Serengeti ecosystem. Water lures birds to the home of giants. Grey heron and yellow-billed stork fish the river here. Hippo dung is a natural fertilizer promoting plant growth that nourishes fish and in turn provides food for a wide variety of birds. Giant Nile crocodiles are famous for preying on large mammals, but fish are a mainstay of their diet. The fish eagle lets the larger marabou stork do the preliminary work. Then it's just a matter of a swift snatch. At a natural dam in this river, it's a free-for-all. But a catch doesn't guarantee a meal. To catch larger prey like impala, a Nile crocodile simply waits. The grazers are residents in the area. They have to cross rivers to get where the grass is greener. The crocs keep a low profile. Crocs have such a strong grip, they can hold prey under to drown it. In this dramatic water world, it's the violent vegetarians that are causing trouble. Things are getting serious between a young contender and an older, larger bull hippo. These are no preliminary threats. This is no holds barred, and the older bull, past his prime, knows it. If the younger antagonist can force the bull to stand down, his status goes up and he'll gain access to females. Exhaustion robs the confrontation of its ferocity. Hippos take no time becoming aggressive. Males defend their territories and females defend their young against anything unfamiliar or that they regard as a threat. Calves are particularly vulnerable. Females do their best to defend their offspring, but these are dangerous waters for baby hippos. A dominant bull's trespass beyond a neighbor's boundary is regarded as a serious violation. Calves need to steer well clear of any male on the charge. It's believed that hippos evolved to cluster together to defend calves from crocodiles. But living in such close proximity promotes intergroup tension and hostility that in turn threatens the youngest members. Playful babies are best kept out on the periphery, surrounded by protective female relatives. Faced with bulls, mothers with calves often tail flap and defecate, a sign of submission. Males maintain their territory by body posturing, scent marking, and threat yawning. Despite a mother's best efforts, babies frequently get caught up in internal disputes. Caught beneath two clashing giants, a calf has seconds to avoid being crushed. When water levels start lowering, tensions flare and youngsters can bear the crushing brunt of an attack. Spraying dung and urine, a dominant male claims his victory and territory. Bachelors in the pod are tolerated, as long as they don't challenge the dominant bull's supremacy. And if they lose a fight, there are painful consequences. And this is the reward if you scare off or fight off rivals. Access to females. She's mostly submerged during the coupling, coming up for breath when needed. In 8 months, she'll give birth underwater to one offspring. Crocodile society works in much the same way as the hippos. Only the dominant get priority when it comes to mating. Circling and rubbing is croc foreplay and can last for days. Rival suitors have to be patient. She signals she's ready. The dominant croc may mate with multiple partners, but with Nile crocodiles, annual monogamy is most common. For the rival males, competition breeds aggression. These giant reptiles have many vocalizations, and the gaping mouth is a clear threat display. These clashes are usually disputes over territory. Crocs and hippos aren't the only animals here to fight over territory along the river. Egyptian geese fight fiercely over boundary disputes, with both sexes involved. Hippos don't look like fighters, but they are one of nature's most aggressive animals. Hippos are one of the few mammals to give birth in water, the resting place of Nile crocodiles. But this time it's not predators to be concerned about. Hippo aggression can cause catastrophic collateral damage. Caught in the middle of warring adults, the newborn is badly gored. Baby hippos probably fall most often to their own kind. Predators assemble. A mother's concern cannot help. The wound is mortal. Only one question remains. Who gets the prize? Most of this croc's young are even not hatched yet. And still they're claimed by predators. The monitor lizard scuttles off. While ferrying her young to water, her nest is vulnerable. Yellow-billed storks are also unwelcome visitors to protective croc mothers. The stork's diet of fish would be augmented with baby croc, if it wasn't for the sentry. But the stork is persistent. Tasty morsels. Just not worth the risk. In the hippo pool, the injured baby's strength is ebbing. Its helpless mother stays close by. Water worlds are indifferent to animal lives. The injured baby ventures into the water. The female needs to keep her stricken offspring in water, away from land predators, but not too close to the main pod. Even in shallow water, the baby is in trouble. If it can't stand, it can't breathe. Another protective mother with a mouthful of her hatchlings has to sacrifice her young to defend herself. Her opponent is likely to be another female defending her own offspring. Aggression rises as the water levels fall, as crocs are forced into smaller areas. A Nile crocodile's bite force is one of the strongest in the world. The bigger animal will always have the advantage. Surviving hatchlings are vulnerable, but they're also well defended. The falling water levels are making the hippos tense and fractious. The mother can only place herself between her struggling baby and the very real threat from other pod members. She won't give up and is compelled to see off those that venture too close. The crocodiles close in, but keep their distance. The baby has lost its fight. While the mother continues to stand guard, the crocs keep a low profile. Despite her loss, the hippo's maternal instinct keeps the reptiles at bay. She has kept her lonely vigil for many hours. The hippo mother must put this tragedy behind her. In time, there will be other offspring to care for. It's time to move on. Finally, the mother leaves the body to allow a water world drama to play out towards its inevitable end. In these dramatic water worlds, river giants clash. Power struggles are violent and unpredictable. And it's never too early for soon-to-be giants to learn how to fight in the water worlds of the Serengeti.